In the early 18th century, amidst the sparkling turquoise waters of the Caribbean, there emerged a phenomenon as intriguing as it was formidable: the Pirate Republic of Nassau. This narrative delves into the golden age of piracy, an era marked by both lawlessness and the quest for liberty, where Nassau became the heart of a pirate utopia that challenged empires and reshaped the maritime world. In the swirling currents of the early 18th century, as the Caribbean Sea shimmered under the sun, the seeds of an extraordinary experiment in governance and defiance took root on the shores of Nassau. This was a time when the world seemed vast and untamed, and nowhere was this more evident than in the burgeoning Pirate Republic of Nassau. Following the War of Spanish Succession, thousands of sailors found themselves without employment, their skills honed in battle but no longer needed in peacetime. This surplus of maritime expertise, combined with the allure of untold riches lying in Spanish galleons and merchant ships, set the stage for the golden age of piracy. Nassau, with its strategic location in the shallow waters of the Bahamas, presented an ideal haven for these disenfranchised sailors. The archipelago's complex geography of hidden coves and secluded beaches offered perfect hideouts and striking points for the pirates. Furthermore, the weak British governance of the region, characterized by neglect and a lack of military presence, allowed these maritime outlaws to establish a stronghold in Nassau. They commandeered the island, declaring it a base from which they could launch their daring raids on the lucrative trade routes that crisscrossed the Caribbean and Atlantic. The transformation of Nassau into a pirate republic was not merely a matter of convenience or opportunity, it was a deliberate choice. Pirates, disillusioned by the rigid hierarchies and brutal conditions aboard naval and merchant vessels, sought to create a new order where freedom and equity reigned supreme. In Nassau, every man had a voice, and captains were elected based on their prowess and fairness. The Pirate Code, a set of articles agreed upon by the pirates, dictated life in Nassau, ensuring that loot was distributed fairly and that every pirate had a say in the Republic's affairs. This nascent democracy stood in stark contrast to the autocratic and oligarchic systems of Europe and the colonies, offering a glimpse of a world where men could shape their destiny. The establishment of the Pirate Republic was a testament to the pirates' desire for a life unbound by the shackles of traditional society. Nassau became a melting pot of cultures and backgrounds, with former naval officers, slaves seeking freedom, and adventurers from across the globe coming together under the black flag. This eclectic mix of individuals brought together by shared ideals of liberty and equality made Nassau a vibrant, albeit chaotic, place. The dawn of the Pirate Republic was a defining moment in the history of piracy in the Caribbean. It represented the pinnacle of pirate power and autonomy, challenging the might of empires and reshaping the maritime world. In Nassau, pirates not only found a safe harbor, but also a home, a place where they could live free from the constraints of the society that had cast them out. This brief period in history, though it would eventually come to an end, highlighted the enduring human yearning for freedom and the lengths to which people will go to achieve it. In the early decades of the 18th century, the Caribbean Sea became the stage for what would be remembered as the Golden Age of piracy, a period that saw the rise and fall of the Pirate Republic of Nassau. This era was characterized by the unprecedented surge of piracy, where the waters of the New World were teeming with brigands seeking fortune, adventure, and a reprieve from the oppressive social orders of the day. Nassau, nestled in the heart of the Bahamas, became the epicenter of this tumultuous period, drawing pirates from every corner of the globe to its welcoming shores. The pirates of Nassau were not merely outlaws, they were rebels against the prevailing systems of power. Discontent with the inequities and brutalities of life on merchant and naval ships, these men and women embarked on a quest for freedom and self-governance. Nassau offered them this chance. It was here, amid the lawlessness of this pirate haven, that the ideals of democracy and equality found fertile ground. The Pirate Code, which governed conduct and ensured the equitable distribution of booty, was a testament to their commitment to these principles. This code was more than just a set of rules, it was a radical reimagining of societal governance, where a captain's authority was contingent on the consent of his crew, and disputes were settled not by rank, but by the collective judgment of one's peers. The golden age of piracy was also marked by the exploits of legendary figures whose names have echoed through history. Blackbeard, with his fearsome visage and towering presence, terrorized the Atlantic seaboard and the Caribbean with a cunning and brutality that made him the most feared pirate of his time. Anne Bonny and Mary Read, defying the gender norms of their era, proved themselves as formidable pirates, challenging and overcoming the expectations placed upon them by society. These pirates, and many others like them, navigated the treacherous waters of the Caribbean, not just in search of treasure, but in pursuit of a life unencumbered by the chains of servitude and poverty. The Pirate Republic of Nassau thrived during this golden age, as its pirates launched audacious raids on Spanish galleons laden with New World gold and attacked merchant ships carrying goods between the Americas and Europe. Their success was not solely due to their martial prowess or their mastery of the sea, it was also a result of their innovative tactics and the camaraderie that bound them. The use of small, agile ships allowed them to outmaneuver the heavier, slower vessels of their adversaries, striking swiftly and vanishing into the labyrinthine waters of the Caribbean. Yet, for all its notoriety and fleeting glory, the Pirate Republic was more than a mere haven for outlaws and renegades. It was a bold experiment in communal living and self-determination, an embodiment of the pirates' desire for a society where freedom was not just an ideal, but a lived reality. In Nassau, pirates found not only a refuge from the world, but also a place where they could imagine a new way of being, free from the hierarchies and oppressions that had defined their former lives. The golden age of piracy, therefore, was not merely a period of lawlessness and rebellion, it was a chapter in the larger story of humanity's perpetual struggle for liberty and justice. The legacy of this age and the Pirate Republic of Nassau endures, a reminder of the indomitable human spirit and the eternal quest for a world where all men and women can live as equals, masters of their own fate. Life in Nassau during the zenith of the Pirate Republic was a paradoxical blend of anarchy and order, freedom and peril. The bustling streets of this pirate haven bore witness to a unique social experiment where the outcasts of the world congregated to forge a new way of life, free from the constraints and injustices of their former existences. This vibrant community, though united by a common pursuit of liberty and wealth, was as diverse as the cargo that filled the holds of the ships they plundered. At the heart of Nassau's pirate society was the Pirate Code, a set of guidelines that governed everything from the distribution of loot to the conduct of crew members. Far from the lawless chaos that one might expect, these rules provided a framework that allowed for a semblance of order and fairness within the community. Captains were elected based on their capability and leadership, not their birthright or wealth, and disputes were settled through a form of democratic process, often involving the entire crew. This system of governance, radical for its time, ensured that every pirate had a voice and a stake in the collective welfare of the Republic. Despite its democratic ideals, life in Nassau was not without its dangers and excesses. The town teemed with taverns and brothels, where pirates squandered their ill-gotten gains on rum and revelry. These establishments were the epicenters of pirate social life, places where tales of the sea were exchanged, plans were hatched, and alliances were formed. Yet, beneath the merriment lay a constant undercurrent of danger. Duels and brawls were common, as personal grievances and the effects of rum fueled violent confrontations. The transient wealth brought into Nassau by its pirate inhabitants led to a boom in the local economy, albeit one that was almost entirely dependent on piracy. Artisans, merchants, and other service providers catered to the pirates' needs, supplying everything from weapons and ships to food and clothing. This influx of wealth and the demand for goods and services transformed Nassau into a bustling hub of commerce, albeit one predicated on the spoils of piracy. Beyond the economic and social dynamics, life in Nassau offered a sense of belonging and community for individuals who had been marginalized and persecuted in their previous lives. Freed slaves, adventurers, and former naval sailors found in Nassau a place where their past did not define them, and where the possibilities seemed as endless as the ocean itself. The Pirate Republic was a melting pot of cultures and backgrounds, where personal freedom was cherished above all else. However, this freedom came at a cost. The constant threat of attack by rival pirates or naval forces, the risk of disease, and the inherent instability of a society built on piracy meant that life in Nassau was often short and brutal. Yet, for a brief moment in history, Nassau represented a bold attempt to live outside the constraints of traditional society, to create a community based on shared ideals of freedom, equality, and brotherhood. In the end, the legacy of life in Nassau during the Pirate Republic is a testament to the human desire for a society where individuals can live freely, govern themselves, and challenge the status quo. It was a fleeting experiment in autonomy and self-determination, a reminder of the allure and peril of absolute freedom. The fall of the Pirate Republic of Nassau was not a sudden collapse, but a gradual erosion of its foundations, precipitated by both external pressures and internal fractures. As the early 18th century progressed, the very success of the pirates began to sow the seeds of their downfall. The rampant piracy emanating from Nassau had drawn the ire of the world's naval powers, particularly the British Empire, which saw the pirate haven as a direct threat to its mercantile interests and its sovereignty over the Bahamas. This growing tension set the stage for the eventual decline of one of history's most remarkable experiments in self-governance and freedom. The British response was calculated and decisive. In a bid to reclaim control over Nassau and eradicate the pirate threat, the Crown appointed Woodes Rogers, a seasoned captain and former privateer, as the governor of the Bahamas. Rogers, armed with the authority of the king and a fleet of warships, arrived in Nassau with a two-pronged strategy. Offer amnesty to those pirates willing to renounce their ways and pursue with unyielding force those who chose to continue their rebellious pursuits. This royal pardon was a masterstroke, exploiting the divisions within the pirate community and undermining their unity. Rogers' arrival marked a turning point for Nassau. The promise of pardon and the threat of retribution drove a wedge through the pirate ranks, with many accepting the offer as a chance for a fresh start. For those weary of the pirate life or fearful of the noose, this was an opportunity to step away from the brink. Yet, not all were willing to surrender their ideals so readily. A faction of die-hard pirates, too deeply entrenched in their defiance of authority, chose to stand against Rogers, setting the stage for a final confrontation. The ensuing struggle was not merely a physical battle, but an ideological one, pitting the vision of a free pirate society against the imperial mandate. Rogers, leveraging his naval prowess and strategic acumen, initiated a series of measures to fortify Nassau and cut off the pirates' access to supplies and reinforcements. The construction of forts, the establishment of a regular military presence, and the revitalization of Nassau's economy were all part of his efforts to restore British sovereignty and dismantle the Pirate Republic. The decline of Nassau's Pirate Republic was also exacerbated by internal challenges. The solidarity that had once united the pirates began to fray under the weight of external pressures and the allure of amnesty. The Pirate Code, which had governed their conduct and ensured equitable distribution of loot, could not withstand the divisions sown by the prospect of pardon or the threat of execution. Moreover, the very nature of piracy, predicated on individualism and the pursuit of personal gain, made sustained collective resistance difficult. As the Pirate Republic faded, Nassau transformed once again. Under Rogers' governance, it began to shed its lawless reputation, evolving into a legitimate colonial settlement. The pirates who remained were either captured and executed or driven from Nassau, seeking new havens from which to ply their trade. The golden age of piracy waned, and with it, the dream of a pirate utopia in the Caribbean. The fall of the Pirate Republic of Nassau is a poignant chapter in the annals of history, illustrating the transient nature of utopian experiments and the relentless march of imperial ambition. It serves as a reminder of the power of ideals to unite and inspire, but also of the formidable challenges that arise when those ideals come into conflict with the established order. The legacy of Nassau's Pirate Republic endures, not as a mere footnote of piracy, but as a testament to the enduring human yearning for freedom, autonomy, and a place to call home outside the confines of conventional society. The legacy of the Pirate Republic of Nassau is a multifaceted tapestry woven from threads of rebellion, innovation, and the unyielding human quest for freedom. Its brief existence during the golden age of piracy left an indelible mark on history, culture, and our collective imagination, challenging conventional notions of governance, society, and the very nature of rebellion. This legacy is not merely a historical curiosity, but a reflection of the complexities and contradictions that define the human experience. At its core, the Pirate Republic embodied the spirit of defiance against oppressive systems. Pirates, often vilified as mere criminals, were also rebels who rejected the harsh realities of their world, where freedom was a privilege reserved for the few. In Nassau, they established a society that, while far from perfect, championed principles of democracy, equality, and collective decision-making. These principles, radical for their time, resonate through history, echoing in subsequent movements that have sought to challenge the status quo and advocate for a fairer, more equitable world. The Pirate Republic also stands as a testament to the power of collective action and the possibility of creating alternative social orders. Nassau was a melting pot of individuals from diverse backgrounds, disenfranchised sailors, escaped slaves, and adventurers, all united by a common cause. This unity and diversity demonstrated the potential for disparate groups to come together and forge a community based on shared values and mutual respect, offering a glimpse into how society might organize itself outside the rigid hierarchies that typically define human interactions. Culturally, the story of the Pirate Republic has captivated the imagination of generations, inspiring countless books, films, and songs that romanticize the pirate life. This cultural legacy, while often romanticized, speaks to the enduring appeal of the pirate as a symbol of freedom and adventure, untethered by the constraints of conventional society. The tales of Nassau's pirates stir something deep within the human psyche, a longing for a life unbound by rules, free to explore the unknown. Furthermore, the Pirate Republic's approach to governance, particularly its early forms of democratic practice and collective ownership, has been studied by historians and political theorists as a precursor to modern democratic and egalitarian ideals. While not a direct influence on contemporary political systems, the Pirate Republic serves as an early example of how power can be distributed more equitably within a community, challenging the inevitability of hierarchical structures. In contemporary discussions about governance, freedom, and social justice, the Pirate Republic of Nassau offers valuable lessons. It reminds us that the desire for a society where power is shared and every individual has a voice is not a modern invention, but a timeless human aspiration. It also cautions against the idealization of such experiments, highlighting the challenges and complexities involved in creating and sustaining alternative forms of social organization. The legacy of Nassau's Pirate Republic is a complex blend of myth and reality, a symbol of resistance against oppression, a beacon of democratic ideals, and a cautionary tale about the challenges of realizing such ideals. It serves as a powerful reminder that the quest for freedom and equality is an ongoing journey, fraught with challenges but essential to the human spirit. As we navigate the complexities of our own time, the story of the Pirate Republic of Nassau remains a source of inspiration and reflection, urging us to imagine and strive for a world where freedom and justice are not just ideals, but realities for all.